All right, I made it. I think I got it going this time. This time it works. I prepared a little better than before. Can you guys hear me? Does it sound good? I try to do a decent job of making sure my mic doesn't sound crazy like last time. It's a possibility it still could, so that's not ruled out. Yeah. Okay. Sound like my dad. The disrespect. Oh wait, I just realized he's talking about me being late. The disrespect. I hope that y'all can hear me. You might hear like the fan a little bit overhead. I wonder if I can change the setting on here and fix that. Maybe like a low pass or something. This is the part where I set my equipment on fire by doing too much. Let's see. No. Yeah, the video's jumpy because I was rendering out a audio file to use for music. Because hearing me talk with nothing in the background but wind isn't that entertaining. Yeah, not so. And plus, I couldn't go to Slate's chat, Slate's stream. She got good music playing. I'm just like talking in the in the wild. Not good for retentions. Not good for viewer retention. So I gotta give it a second. It says 100%. Once it finishes rendering, I'm gonna actually drop the music file in here. It's gonna say it's overloaded just for a little while, but once it's finished, I can close Premiere Pro and get all my speed back. Sweet Lord, because it's eating it up. It's eating it alive. Yeah, it's eating me alive right now. Let's see. Should be done any moment. Yeah, right there. Second. Shout out to y'all for showing up, though. I appreciate that. Like, we cooking today. We cooking. How many of y'all that are here today were in the conversation with me and Destin and Laurel on his stream the night before? Or today, not even the night before, the actual day. Because we had a ton of conversations. Laurel's here, so shout out to being here, my guy. Appreciate you. Yeah, we talked about a ton of different content in the game. What champions we thought were amazing, which ones we didn't think were that amazing. But today I'm here to have a good discussion about SEMRAH. So I think that my video's finished, right? I think so. Now that that's finished, I can add some music today. And we could actually hear something that sounds, you know, somewhat entertaining. Let's see here. It still says 100%, like it's still waiting to finish it, which is kind of annoying. Oh, it's ready. Let me make sure. Yes, it is ready. All right, so I'm gonna drop it in here. We're about to have some music for the first time. Hey, stream music. So it's here. Browse. Feeling good. I actually got some music for y'all this time. I hope it sounds okay. I have no idea if it's gonna work, so I'm gonna be counting on y'all with the magical power of delayed stream. Laurel's voice. Alright, so we should be set to make a good stream today because I'm actually looking forward to this one. I've been looking forward to do a SEMRAH conversation with everybody. There we go, background music, live stream. Alright, we got a song. Loop. Start playback. It's all good. Close for all night. No, it's all good. And I wonder if y'all can hear that. I hope you can hear it. I can't hear it. Let me see. What's going on, Sean? Oh, my boy Sean made it. We're cooking now. We're cooking. I'll turn it off. All these other channels. So I don't need all 6 channels. That's too much. And let me see. Let me see if I can hear it. Yes. That feels. Can y'all hear that? Can you hear the audio? Please, please. I hope you can hear the sound, the music in the background. I actually edited this so the audio is soothing. It's intentionally to avoid my voice. Okay, so I need to turn it up some. Let me. See, I may. It's really gonna be background music. It's not gonna be overwhelming. Yeah, I'm feeling good now. Got music. Can't hear the music. It's a bit loud compared to your voice. Got it. Okay, I can fix that. So about right. Maybe right here. Yeah, I think that'd be good. And also, you're probably hearing like the flames from the game. It's excessive. It's excessive sound effects. It sounds like you're on the other side of the room. So this is my. Oh, you know what? That's the wrong microphone. Okay, I'm gonna warn y'all. Fair warning. I'm about to change my audio, and it may sound jank for a moment, but I'm listening for it this time. So if it is jank, I can fix it. So one moment. I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a. Yep. We're gonna try. We're gonna try. Oof. Sweet Lord, don't sound like crap. If it sounds like crap, I'll just turn it off. That sounds like crap. But I fixed it, right? I think I did. Now that I can hear when it sounds bad and good, I think I fixed it. It sounded jank for a moment now, right? It's like, it sounds good? It sounds good to me. I hope it sounds good to y'all. Is it pain? Is it effective? Because if it is, we about to get our SEMRAH on. We about to have a discussion. We about to work. The spicy hand rubs are activated. I'm feeling good today, y'all. Today is an awesome, awesome day. First, shout out to everyone, especially you all there in the States. It sounds good. Does it sound good? Does it sound like crap? Just like type like it sounds good. Okay, cool. Appreciate it, Sean. Thank you. Shout out to all of the fathers in the state. Happy Father's Day. I figured I'd start off with that for all of y'all awesome folks that are, you know, feeding your children. Playing ball or not saying toughen up when you threw them down the cliff. Not all of us should be Homelander. We should be enjoying our time with our kids. I hope that y'all having a great time. Even if you are not a father, if you have a father in your life, I hope you have a great relationship with them. If not, it's never too late to make a call. Say, hey, I appreciate you. That's all. If you don't have the relationship, don't force it. If they're not here on this earth, aspire to be an amazing father. That's all I ask. That's my whole thing. It sounds lovely. So that's the answer I wanted. That's the cookie. That's the cookies you were looking for. That's fire. That's fire. Okay. So today we were going to be. This feels good, y'all. This music sounds. I feel official for the first time, and I can hear it. Like it. This is a vibe. All right, shut up. I'm really trying to. What do we say with Biden? I'm really trying to reach the youth. Let's rock. Let's rock. Appreciate that, man. Oh, dope. So, I should have got water for one, but I want to talk about SEMRAH today. SEMRAH Guild Boss 2. I enjoy this content. I've played against the boss a couple of times. I think that it's a well-built piece of content. Slated celebrating Father's Day with her new with her new daddy R's. Look, I get it. I understand. Let me go ahead and switch this up right here. Wait, the music went away. I gotta change that. So I gotta do this, copy it. 2. We gotta have the music. There we go. Does it just stay playing or does it? Okay, good. Music's still playing. Slate is celebrating Father's Day with her new daddy Horace. Yeah, I understand. In case y'all didn't know, Ymir is actually in the video way before Ymir was announced, which is really cool. He's at the very end of at the very end of King Horace's video. So kind of cool. Yo, all right, let me close Premiere Pro. Let me get some speed back too, because I know I got a little bit of lag going on. Let's close that one. Yes, save changes and keep it moving. I want to get a little more speed back for y'all. Nobody likes a slow stream, and I'm doing my best, but Mac doesn't play well with others, especially OBS. Sweet Lord, I'm glad it didn't crash. So, the SEMRAH boss, I should grab my tablet. Do I have it nearby? I do. 1 second, it's right beside me. Because I want to actually chat and discuss stuff that I can, back up instead of just saying, hey, it's a cool idea. So, oh, geez, hope they pay well. I'm already blindsided. What was I talking about? So, the SEMRAH boss It's coming this Wednesday? This Tuesday, this Wednesday. It's like right around the corner. And it is one of the most fun pieces of content I've played in the game because it doesn't feel overtuned. That's number one. That's my favorite part. It feels like just genuinely fun. What was that? That's interesting. The farm just dropped off. The mine just dropped off like 8 things at once, which is nice. It doesn't feel like overtuned content. It feels like well thought out content. It feels great because there's so many different champions that you can play with. Oh, you talking about you, Matt? You're funny. I do play with others. What do you mean? But yeah, the content just feels good. It feels good. Like you have 2 different teams you can pick against the boss. Each team is a team of 10 champions, 10 heroes. You don't have to use 10, but you're going to use 10. And you can put all 10 on the map at once in both battles, which is great. So this is good because the conversation is going to shift in the game from there's nothing to do or there's not enough champs to, or they're looting the pool of champions to we need more champions. And as lo and behold, we got like 9 new champions coming to the game, 9 new legendaries. I did a whole video with Destin about it, and it's weird because I can hear myself. I'm actually going to turn off the monitor of my audio because I hear myself when I'm talking and it makes me almost stutter. It sounds crazy. That is fixable right here. Advanced audio, and let's go to auxiliary. Mic, monitor off. Okay, now I can't hear myself, so it does sound crazy. Let me know in the chat, I'll fix it. But it should sound good while we're talking. But yeah, the SEMRAH boss content, it's cool. It's easy to play. You have 2 different difficulties to start with. It's easy to finish it. You essentially have 4 stages that you need to be concerned about. 3 you have to be concerned about. There's 4 to have. There's 3 different arms. The first one to talk about, I'm going to talk about each arm and then the strengths and weaknesses of each arm, how you beat each one of them. So you can start thinking about what champions and throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat what you want to, what do you think are some good options? But the first arm let's talk about is probably the most interesting one, and that's like the flamethrower arm. I have the wrong term for it completely. No, I'm sorry, the chainsaw arm. The chainsaw arm is the most interesting because it has a mechanic where it revs up the chainsaw and the scale just gradually goes up. But if you use stun or if you use freeze, you can knock it back down and essentially delay the attack from happening. If you're able to knock it down far enough, you can stop it from happening. But since the rework on the boss, because they did do an update, since the rework, I've never been able to knock it back to 0. So that may just be you just trying to prolong it and just do enough damage to the arm, and you break that down, and it's fairly easy to beat. Of the 3 arms, it is the second toughest. The next arm I'm talking about is the weakest arm, and I think that is the Drake's Fire or Drake's Flame, which is basically the purple one that gives you poison as soon as it comes on. The thing about that one is it says that the ability, so I have a little bit of confusion on this. From my understanding, the debuffs that it applies are permanent. They could be removed, but I think what they have are permanent and it still stacks. Like, so if you got it now, you got it removed. If you got it again, it'll go to 2 or it'll go to 3. It'll still be incremental. But the debuff removal allows you to take it off temporarily, if that makes sense. The next time you get the arm again, you're gonna have it again. So I appreciate that. Oh goodness, yes. Oh, by the way, do you have your own Discord channel? Ooh, good question, Matt. So I am working on a Discord channel. It's not public yet, but I'm doing the same thing because I'm making way too much efforts to not have some way to actually announce it to people. And at this point in time, I really should be doing it. I really should. But the flamethrower arm, which is the purple arm, which applies the poison, that one is the weakest arm by far. It feels like it has like a fourth of the health of the second arm, which is a chainsaw arm. So my recommendations are to have a debuff remover, like a Dasomi, like a Madan, like an Elowen, or like an Anomia. There's some rares that do it too. I think Aaron does it, but you don't want to be using Aaron. So you have the option of removing it, or you could play with it and just have really strong healers because you can use it against itself. So you can have Hollow, and since they're taking continuous damage, she's always throwing out heals, which is always giving more rage regen. So there's a way to work around it, and I built a team that does that. it's still tough because every time you get that debuff, it makes it harder for your champions to stay alive. But another thing also, if they die and they come back into the field, the buff is removed. So that's just something to remember. I'm getting into like all the little like secret nitty gritty details. I wish I could like just straight show you, but you know, that's illegal. So that arm is the one I will say I would prioritize damage on the most. Because if you break that arm fast enough, it doesn't get a chance to do an attack. When it gets summoned, it starts with an attack. Like it's inevitable, it starts with an attack. But if you take long enough, he's gonna do it again. So what you wanna do is you wanna be able to take that arm out before he does it again. Burst damage is gonna be your best option here. So a Silas or a Zillatu. Seraphina is actually pretty good because she specializes in burst damage. The burst damage champions are gonna be great there. It doesn't feel like it's overtuned as far as like having high specs or anything, so it's easy to knock down. That is arm number 2. That's the second priority. The third priority, if you have, so I gotta say about the Aegis arm, which is the shield, that's the third arm to be concerned about. They all do happen in a specific order, and you can tell when you look at the boss. Actually, I can just like do like a fake run and like show the screen, but I can't like live stream it. But I can like let you guys see a preview of the screen and maybe the arms. That might be a way to do it, right? That's like the, you know, because if I had to do it any other way, I have to wait until the approval comes from the devs, which takes a while, and I don't want to waste that for you. I don't think that's fair. How y'all enjoying this content, by the way? I'm gonna make sure I'm not just talking my head off. So if y'all got something dope I want to mention, throw it in the chat. Let's connect. So you can actually see it on this shot. Let me full screen it here, right? That might help. If you look here, you can see on his arms, you can see the multiple arms. When you're battling him, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a mock fight. I'm gonna set up a really quick team. Appreciate that, Slate. Yo, what's up? Slate the mod. Good to have you. I'm gonna just set up like a makeshift team just so you can see it in action while I talk about it, and I'll just pause as we're conversating. But I cannot actually put it as a live stream. Legally, I can't do that because it's their game, not mine. So I have a really like slapped together team. I really just started to just pick champions based on mechanics that I'm going to need. So this is not like a meta team if you end up getting a glimpse of it while we're showing it. So don't think this is like, oh, this team is the team to beat them. It's not. I'm going to have all of my champions down. I think I even have a Morrigan. I don't even know why I have a Morrigan. Okay, so pausing it here. If you look at the arm here, you can see the arm, which is the chainsaw arm. That's what I'm going to just call it that because that just makes the most sense. Behind it, if you look in the corner there, is the shield. So you know which arm is coming next, which is wonderful because I don't think that rotation is random. I think you always know what arm is coming in the rotation. So if you know you're going to get your damage to break this down with your stuns or your freeze, that's going to be there. Then you want to save your ults like a Silas or something for the shield because you want ignore defense. You want ignore magic resistance to be able to immediately do damage to the shield. If you don't have that option, then you want to do true damage. True damage still works. This is funny. Kalina is terrible in most of the content in the game, but Kalina is actually a really good option against that arm, against the shield arm. So stun and freeze are the only two CCs that work for the chainsaw arm. And of course, this is Q&A, so ask questions if y'all want. I'm literally here to like chat about it. Make sure to stream the likes. Yes, make sure to stream the likes, everyone. Everyone do such a thing. I did like 1 hour ago. I appreciate that, Brighton. Yes, like the stream. Sneaky peeks being shown. Laura High. Yes, like look, this is the best way I can give it. I really can't have it up on the screen during live. They don't want us to do that. iPad product placement. Fun fact, this is an Amazon tablet, but I finagled with it to make it a Google tablet. And so now I can use a Google Play Store on an Android product. I don't care because it works and it was much less expensive to get it this way. So I get to play it that way. But I will actually let the arm rev up just so you guys can see it. Who do I have in here that has stuns? I think Captain Rev is the only option I have, and Boreas. So he's doing it right now. I'm going to 1x it. I'm going to trigger Captain Rev and Boreas' ult just so you can see it. I'll just trigger everybody. And look at the gauge. It might go up too fast. It's going to go up too fast. Yeah, it doesn't go up. Stun does less of a... He's going to kill us. But the good thing about this is he's going to hit us, sure. But what I want to do is I want to get enough damage to break the arm. So you just want to get enough stun and enough damage on his arm. I mean, on him while the arm is revving up. The stun and the freeze is to slow him down. Not necessarily to end the attack. You can do that, but you'd rather just have a way to delay it. Stuns do a small knockback, freezes do a large knockback. So here's where Honora, here's where Ymerit. Heck, even if I'm not mistaken, doesn't King Hars start to plant freeze on his regular attack during his ult, if I'm not mistaken? That's when you want to have multiple freezes in there because you can knock it back so much, it makes it easier to do your damage. So I could be your brand director for money, for percentage. My brand director, Aloro, really? We just reaching today. I get it. Yeah, stun is easier to come by. That's a good question. That's a good statement. Freeze has a bigger impact. But of course, freeze is usually less common to happen. So that's why I said like Honora and Ymerit are going to be good for this. Yeah, it looks complicated, but it's really simple. It's only 3 parts to remember. That's legitimately it. It's just the 3 arms. That's it. Something else that's really good to know is when you're battling, when you break an arm, you reset the timer against the boss. So every time you fight an arm, there's a time limit of beating the arm or you basically finish the match. But if you break the arm, you reset it. After you break all 3 arms, it enters like a super vulnerable state, and that's where you want to get as much of your damage in, because that is essentially when the shield is broken against the original guild boss in Drake's Chasm. That's when you want it. Yeah, Daddy Hars has freeze. Yeah, so yeah, that is actually useful, and it's also great because the shield has an attack where he just hits whoever has the highest HP. So King Hars is just going to tank that hit and then be able to get freezes out. So you are lucky, Slate. You got a really good option for Guild Boss too. You got a really good option on your hands. He's going to be really good. Now we're thinking, what champions do really good with like stun and stuff like that? Like Nazim does it, the guy, like the lizard that likes holding a sword. Captain Rev is really good. He has a lot of stuns. He also like you want to have high attack speed though. That's needed. You have quite a few. Your freeze options. You can use Mari. Mari's good. Boreas is good, but it's very slow. His freezes aren't that rapid. You will have to give him high attack speed so you can maybe get out of his regular attack. Get that. But his pulse, that's really like his famous thing for freezing, takes a while. I wish that you can get more out of AI. That would have been nice. But her bombs, they just take up space for the most part. So the arms are kind of like shields. You got to finish one to go to the next. Correct. You break one arm to get to the next arm. You break that, get to the next arm. After you've broken all 3, you enter the super vulnerable phase where you do a bunch of damage. And he's down for a while. He's down for at least as long. I think he's down for longer than Drake when the shield's broken. So you have a good window of doing damage. But that is your main area of doing damage. Every time you break an arm, you have a window like that, but it's much shorter. It's much shorter than that big version of doing damage. So you can break an arm, and then when he's down, you can get some damage there. Next arm, focus on breaking the arm, damage. But your biggest thing of going to do damage is going to be the last part. Are the arms always in the same order? So here's what's interesting. I do not know that. I've never paid attention to if the arms are in the same order. I will say every time that I've played the battle, I started with the chainsaw arm. Every single time. And after that, I've had the shield. And then after that, I've had the flamethrower one versus the purple one. So it may be, which is good because that means it would be autoable. I do not think it's RNG. If it is RNG, I think it's set at the beginning of the match and it doesn't change. That being said, it hasn't hit global yet, so that's potential to be changed, but I would say it's probably going to be pretty consistent, starting with the chainsaw arm, then the shield arm, then the flamethrower arm, which applies poison. Helga uses stun, same as Hex. Yes, Helga as well. Yes, she's good. There's another one I was thinking of that has a ton of stuns. This is funny. We had this whole conversation, Laurel. Azor is going to be great against his boss because of how many stuns he gives. Azor gives stuns on every one of his attacks. Every hit he does gives stuns. And then during his ultimate, he can, I mean, it doesn't matter because he hits more targets, but he gives shields and attack increase to everybody. So in this content, he's not a bad idea because you don't need Undying. And you probably just have a Vortex if you need shields. So there's a conversation to be had that Azor is not bad for this content. I don't have to use defenders in the sense of blocking enemies anymore. I just need a defender in the sense of being just tanky, and he's able to do it. So that's going to be upsetting some people that say Azor is F tier and they want him now. It's going to be upsetting. So, I mean, yet again, Slate, congratulations. You got another option. That's great. But you only need like 1 or 2 defenders. You telling me I got 2 potential for the boss today? Yes, seriously, you did. I've used Azor, and Azor is actually pretty good. Like he does considerable knocks. I can actually I don't know if I have him built on here. I don't have him built on here. If I did, I'd show it. And you can actually see how rapidly he's doing the stuns. It's pretty good. Do you still get to place all 10 heroes? I saw that early on, but haven't watched much more about it. Yes. Every ally on your team can be put on the map at once. It is a 10-man battle. It is not a lockout like Guild Boss 1. You can use all 10 that you have the entire match. The caveat to that is if you withdraw like a Laurel, it increases the respawn timer by 10 seconds, which to be honest isn't that bad. But you know, it makes Laurel a little bit less viable, but she's still usable. She's still good. And then on top of that, you don't have to withdraw. You can just use her ult all the time. And then when you need that crazy burst, then you get rid of her and you're completely fine. So it's cool. It's really good. You saying my A5 Azor is user? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I will be using Azor against this boss because he can tank the defenders. He can tank the hit that hits the target with the highest HP because you're probably going to build him with enough HP as a defender. You don't have to make him tanky, but come on. It's more chance you're going to give him HP. And he has multiple stuns. He gives shields to allies. He gives... in A5, he doesn't lose heated state. So he's always, every attack, handing out attack increase and shields to allies around him. Y'all stop listening to people saying champs are trash. Y'all don't know what you're good at yet. It's not bad. It's not bad. So you're saying there's a chance. Yes, Charlotte. There's a viable chance to use Azor in this content. Yes, use this video. If you see later and you think I'm wrong, nah. I've used them. It's pretty useful. I'll be honest. I haven't used them a whole lot in this one. I haven't built them, so. But I've used them very often in the content to know how rapidly he gives stuns, and I've seen how well stuns work. So he's a good option to have in mind. So that is going to be taking care of the chainsaw arm, the flamethrower arm. No, the flamethrower arm is the purple one. That's the one that applies poison. He's kind of meh just because Toro does stun as well and better in any case. Keeping in account you have Toro. Exactly. So that's the problem. You got to have a legendary lord Torador. But if you do have him, sure, better option. But I like the fact that a champion that so many people have and just like, I don't like this champion, it's got a place that's pretty useful. I don't think Laurel is going to be used because you have to use all 10 heroes. So the challenge with that is when you finish a match, those 10 heroes are locked. That includes that hero and any duplicates you have of the hero. So you basically, if you use Laurel in the first match, you can't use a Laurel in the second match. So you have to make 2 different comps. That's why I'm glad that this is out, because it allows you to really dig into your inventory of like your roster of the different demons that you have in the game. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest, this music is slapping right now. It sounds so good. I'm just chilling. But I guess that mechanic gives Volca even more value. She just keeps getting better. True. Also as well, you know who is really going to be interested in this? Alara, you're going to be mad at me. Magda is going to be great in this. You know why? Because Magda and Cyrus have a thing going on. They are amazing. Because Cyrus, if you already have Volca, let's just say Cyrus, Volca, and Magda are part of the comp right now. Volca makes you do heals on every attack. Cyrus's Lord skill reduces the cost of his ults by like 25%, which makes it very cheap. He gets it back very fast. Give him Astral Obelisk that's maxed out. He gets a 50% raise regen every time he heals. That's every attack. Every time one of his minions dies in front of Magda's range, that is a 70% crit damage increase for 12 seconds. Cyrus's ult is so fast, he can get the ult back within 12 seconds and continuously put down those minions, which means that her 70% crit damage is unlimited. It never ends. And for those of y'all saying, but she's an AoE damage dealer, I'm gonna tell y'all, she can solo gear rate 121. That last boss at the end, she can still kill it. So, something to be mindful of. You have to think of like comps like this now. So there's gonna be a lot of us YouTubers that say use these comps, these are gonna work. I'm gonna be honest, most of the content you're gonna see, in my honest opinion, is gonna be a lot of our first takes because there's so much to cover. There's so many champions to think about. There's so many champions that aren't meta that we just forgot about and now they're useful. Like we didn't think about Aveline until Soka's boss. Great champion, just not great for other stuff that we normally use it for. Now we're like we have a great place for her. I don't think she's going to be good here because she has to do her ult for stuns, which is too far and in between. But this is what's going to be the beauty of this content is it's one of those times where you can like talk with your guild. Hey, I thought this champ is pretty cool. Oh, wow, I didn't think about that. Let me try him. Oh, snap, that's pretty cool. Now I can actually gear this champ up and promote him. Because they've been sitting in the barn for a while. Meta pair called have first as though wait, 2 comps, that's going to be so good. Yeah, I do love the fact that you have to make 2 separate teams, completely separate teams. And so you have to think of the mechanics. And then like they're just giving you a ton of new champions that's coming. Lucius is going to be able to remove the Aegis buff off of the boss. I may be wrong, but he gets to take a buff away from the boss, which trivializes that arm. It's coming to the game fairly soon, probably going to come out during the anniversary event. But if you don't have that, going back to the conversation, because I will talk in circles, y'all. Put it in the comp and I'll chat about it. But the shield arm, because I didn't talk much in detail about it, it is great because the faster you do damage, the better off you'll be. If you can't get quick burst damage out, aka a Seraphina, aka a Silas, aka a Zillatu, anybody that has an ult that goes by really quickly that's really good for single target damage, maybe like a Hex in this case would be good. Well, I'll be fair, I haven't played a lot with Hex, so if I'm wrong about that, y'all let me know in the chat. But I would assume he's good for single target enemies. He's great in Guild Boss. But the goal is to get a lot of damage early on, because the longer that attack, the longer the battle goes. Oh, you know what? Let me actually just show you. I can just show you. Kinda. So the battle is going on right now in the background. Hollow is having a tough time healing things. I'm going to put Eloin's heal down. And all right, so he has an attack called Earth Shatter, which I think is where he sweeps his hand across the screen, his arm across the screen. I can tap that so you just can view it. It's an AoE hit. It just hits everybody once. That attack doesn't seem very strong, right? Every time his Aegis shield goes up, it becomes stronger. So if you take too long, your team will consistently just get wiped by that attack. It gets really strong. At first, it's not even noticeable. But right now, what I'm going to do is because I'm going to show it really quickly and then I'm going to make an effort to fix it. Right now, he's doing the Aegis shield. And you see the little part that's blue right there? There are 6 of those tiles. Every time one of those tiles goes up, it increases his defense and magic resistance, I think, by like 30%. Like it skyrockets. That's why you want to ignore if you can't get the burst damage off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop Silas. I'm going to pop Constance also, Dahlia, Yovar, and Hollow. And I'm going to pause it here just so you can see the damage being done. You might be able to see it in real time if he does an arm again. But the longer it takes, the harder it's going to be to do damage. So you got to get the damage in early before the stats go really high. So he's already doing it again. I was paused the whole time I was talking from the first time. And you want to break the arm again. You see your vulnerability stage. You do some damage to him for a while. And you work on him. That's how this works. The third boss arm is the arm that has the flamethrower. That one is the weakest one. It is the easiest one to kill. But the problem is you just took on the Aegis armor and used a whole bunch of your DPS. So you may want to save one champion with really high DPS like a Seraphine or a Silas or a Micah in this case that can help drop that arm quickly before it does another attack. Wonder if Lust or Falchio might get some love, if speed is going to be a big thing. So I need to test Falchio here. Falchio's a champion I've been rooting for a while. I don't know if she's amazing. I don't know if there's content for her to be amazing yet. But being able to have both types of damage is definitely going to be useful somewhere in the game, right? Somewhere. But I haven't tested her yet. That's going to be up for grabs in like a few days, so you can just try it out. Oh, I forgot to mention too, no run is an official run until you accept the results. So it's never like, oh crap, you know, I got nuked, we're dead, oh, the results are auto-saved. You can choose whether to accept the results or not at the end of the boss. So those of y'all that have played Raid, played against Hydra, you familiar with that? That is not permanent until you choose to make it permanent. So you can do a lot of testing in this content, which I love. So again, you're going to be watching us content creators make content to get views, to watch this stuff. I'm going to be doing it. I'm just going to be real with y'all. But I want y'all to actually do your homework on what champions you have, what options you have. You may see some tier lists and stuff. I think that's going to be really helpful for this content. But in all honesty, this is one of the best times to be happy about your account, because what you have is going to be the best impact. You're really going to be able to say, oh snap, I got an Azor, I don't use them. Oh, it's going to be great here, and just have fun and do a crazy number and beat people that, you know, you thought were really amazing, but you have a really good strategy. You thought it through. Interesting. I expect Honora will be a beast under Cyrus. Yes, because Honora buffs summons. So summons are included by Honora's labor. Summons are also Cyrus's skeletons. Summons are also Novice's minions that he's getting the kit revamp that make those summons. So I think that's going to count those also. There's one or two that I'm forgetting. I don't know if it counts for Praetus or if it counts for Calypso. If it does, we in trouble, because they're about to be insanely good. If Calypso's little seal stones that says in the kit summons, if they're actually summoned, she's gonna be nutty for this. I have not tried it. Now I want to try it today. I'm legit want to give that a shot today to see if those count as the summons in the same scenario, because it says she does summon them. But a champion like Init doesn't say summon, says he assigns. So I don't know if that counts as summon. It's just more stuff to be thinking about. Y'all, this is why I'm so happy about the content, because it's making me, for the first time, look at my full roster of what I have available and just say, you know what, I can have fun with this. I can do that. I can do this. And it doesn't feel champion locked. It does not feel champion locked. That's my favorite part about this. If you've been playing the game for, I don't know, 3 months, I'm going to have to say 3 months because it is still technically in-game content, you're probably going to have a good time against this boss. If you've been summoning when you're supposed to be summoning, getting a whole bunch of different Legos and stuff, a whole bunch of epics also, you can beat a lot of this stuff with a bunch of epics. All the mechanics you need, epics have them. Like I said, Mario earlier for freezes. Let's see, over Rainbow, that's good. Does that apply to the first dragon? Does that apply to the first dragon boss? What are you referring to, Obsidian? I'll come back to that comment. It doesn't count for them. It doesn't. I was wondering if those count. Oh yeah. The Dragon Balls, you can do playtests if you want to be safe with that. That's worse. I hope they think about adding more gear sets. You could say 50 isn't enough, which is crazy to think of that, right? 50 isn't enough, but I use like 9. I'll be real. It's mostly guild v guild and back. But yeah, but I think I could get it. I can get 50 could be limited for people that really delved into it. Calypso A5 is a single target boss woman. Yes. If those summons count as something that labor can enhance, Calypso's going to be flushing. Calypso's going to be a beast. I was wondering about AI, the tries for the dragon. Sorry. So I'll say I don't know if AI's crystals are going to make any impact in the content, because SEMRAH doesn't necessarily hit them, and if he is hitting them, it's way too late. So the frost isn't going to explode on the chainsaw arm, because that means the chainsaw is already going off if he's landing on it. So I don't see the benefit in that. But this is where theory crafting comes in. What if AI is on the far side of the map and she's putting all the crystals down, and then when SEMRAH does do his chainsaw attack, because he attacks the left side and then he attacks the right side, what if all the crystals on the left side is enough burst damage to just auto kill that arm? Ooh. Y'all see why I like this? Y'all see why I like this content? Like, it's got us thinking like that. Like, making really good ideas. I got a couple people viewing too. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let's see. Yeah, the trials for the dragon. Sorry, after the update. Oh yeah, I think if you just do play testing, you're gonna be safe against the dragon. But in this content, it gives you that permission at the end because they know people are going to be experimenting a whole bunch. They encourage it. The one thing I've noticed from the devs is that they don't want people just treating this content like Guild Boss 1 and just sending in their Guild Boss 1 team and hoping they could just out DPS everything. That's not the case. You have to be mindful of the mechanics. You have to be mindful of which arm you're going against. And auto runs may come into play later, but you're going to have so much fun figuring out different champions and stuff that working different ideas out. Like, it's so much to be done in this content. Max said, Mike, I think Obsidian is asking a score lock-in before completing coming to Guild Boss 1 as well. The score lock-in before completing. I may be misunderstanding that, so please forgive me if I'm misunderstanding that. You're talking about if you're doing a playtest and you get a high score, like, can you choose to save it? Is that it? I don't believe so. If that's what you're asking, I don't believe so. But you can set up an auto team. Okay, appreciate it. So you can set up an auto team, and if your damage is good and your crit rate is consistent, you probably can do a good job here. There are a couple floating mechanics, I want to call it that, like percentage of chance of attacks for like allies and stuff. So that might alter your timing. Also, don't forget when you knock down the boss, when you break an arm, the time freezes, it stops. And then after you break all 3 arms, he has a vulnerable stage that he enters. And then after that, he goes into what's called overdrive mode, which is basically phase 2. It's the same boss again, but now the boss is in overdrive mode, which gives him a 30% in defense and magic resistance, if I'm not mistaken. It's an increase he gets as you go into the next phase. So the first phase, you knock it out. Don't worry about a time limit because it's literally, you can take as long as you want, as long as you're breaking the arms in time, which is lovely. It's great. I will say my biggest nervousness is that I hope that they don't change Soulborn Arcana. Mainly because it's going to be a bigger impact throughout the game. But I don't want that to be an issue you have to worry about of not having the DPS when you need it. You were talking about for Guild Boss 2, you can accept your score instead of it automatically taking it. Correct. So at the end of this content, you can choose to accept the score that you got or just say no and try it again. It's cool. And it doesn't take, like, I would say the longest I've spent on this battle, like 10 minutes, maybe. And it's fun. It's not like 10 minutes, oh, here we go. It was actually freaking fun. It's cool. And you know, as you play the content, you learn the different mechanics. It's cool. Then when it goes into overdrive mode, let's go back to that. It increases its ability, increases the stats basically. So that's why I said you want to have like your true damage options. Your arbiters are going to do pretty good here. That's maybe also why they put Alistair in the game, because if you keep him with a high enough attack speed, he continuously does true damage, which will help with that Age of Shield arm, which is going to be really nice. Too bad it's not on Guild Boss 1. Yeah, I guess you're going to have some different mechanics, right? You can't cheese them all. I think there's going to be some cheese strats that's going to be coming out in the content. I think it's just funny to realize like there's so many freaking options. But once you get into overdrive mode, going back to that, this is why you want to have like your silences or your champions that ignore defense, or your Mika that, you know, it's weird because her kit reads, she ignores. Is it up to 50%? Not 50% defense. She does 50% extra damage to shields. But she ignores a portion of defense, but she does magic attacks. So it may just be a coding error, not coding error, it may just be a typo. And it's magic resistance that she ignores, which would be great. But yeah, I think she is going to be one of your best options for this, just because how much damage she can do. If you don't have a silence that's bonded, or you don't have them, you know, awaken and doing nice. If you don't have a hex, if you don't have, you know, a Cetrum that you think is really good yet, Micah's going to check a lot of those boxes for a lot of players. She's not going to be the end all, they're all better than everything. No, but she's free. And she's literally put in the game to help you get high scores against bosses. She's literally put in the game for that, and she's freaking free. And I've tested. I will say this too, this is one of the few champions, she may be one of the few champions that is not like an exclusive, like ancient exclusive whatever, that I would strongly consider using Lego Soul Stones on. because her A5, of course, that's pretty far down the road, right? Her A5, she has an attack, I think it's called Conflagration. It does 300% magic damage. 300% magic damage. Let me look at it. Let me just look at it. All right, SEMRAH, you've had a good run. Let me just go check it out. Quit battle. I want to just read it off. But she's, I mean, you're going to start seeing videos about it too. Do you think they mean piercing possibly since she's magic? I believe that may be it, but it's not penetrating. It doesn't say penetrating. It just says ignores defense. All right, let me go into her right now. Her A5, I'll read parts of the kit that are really like the essential parts and keep it simple, right? I can show her because, I mean, there's already videos of her out, so that's not like exclusive. I mean, you know what she looks like. There's like advertisement in the game already. But the thing to remember is her talent. So I'm gonna give you 3 things to think about. Her talent, which triggers Blazing Plume, which is an attack that does 50, right? The tablet's hot, so it's hard to tap stuff. Deals 50% magic damage 3 times and then inflicts burning for 5 seconds. So every 4 attacks she does that. Every time she has an ultimate, it becomes every 2 attacks she does that. So you see how quickly it can stack up. And then every time she does that Blazing Plume, which is every 2 attacks during her ult, there's a 50% chance to trigger Conflagration, which deals 300% magic damage. And then each burning inflicted on the target increases that damage by another 10% up to 70%. So every time she does this, she could be doing 300 to 370% damage just reliably. Here's why that's crazy. It's 50% right now out of the box. At A5, I'm going to show it because I need to actually let y'all see it. Let's get this bad boy here. Let's not lock the screen. Cool. You read that. During the ultimate, the trigger chance is 100%. Every 2 attacks, she's going to be doing 300% magic damage. Up to 370%, my bad. Up to 370% every 2 attacks during the ultimate. When she's not in the ultimate, every 4 attacks. And how long does that ultimate last? It lasts half a minute. It's 30 seconds freaking long. This is Zilla2 length of time. Magda has the same duration of 30 seconds with her ult, if I'm not mistaken. I think 30. Yeah, Mike and A9 is gonna be pretty useful because the more burns you have, you can get the 70% more damage on that. This is why she's such a great champ. She's probably, arguably the best free champion released to the game. Arguably. Helga may probably be in the same conversation too. I think Helga might actually inch out just a little bit more, but I'm gonna say that she's arguably one of the best because Guild Boss. If you don't have 50K, which a lot of players in this game don't have, she's gonna be great for those players that don't have that 50K. If you're super in game, you don't care as much. You already got your teams locked in. But now you gotta make 2 teams. So your first Guild Boss team that was so magical and so awesome can only be one of your teams. So it's really well thought out content. That's a serious statement. Yeah, Micah A9, yeah, it's gonna work. Like the stats are crazy of what these guys can do. It's crazy that a bunch of them are free champions. The 1+1, I will agree, is probably going to be a bait that's coming next week. I'm still going to pull for it because I need to get more Legos. I need Elowen. You understand? I'm not going to say what Ash says. I need Elowen to show up in my account immediately. She's be retrograded into my account. But I'm still going along the route of the more champions that I have, the better. I'm still going to be going for Nora. I'm still going to pull for her because I see the value of where she's going to be useful. A lot of people won't get that until you're playing against the boss. If that makes sense. When you're playing against the boss, you're like, oh, I see why they put this champion in the game. Okay, it makes sense now. Okay, this champion is actually really good now that I have a chance to use them and practice them. So that's something important to recall. I need Elowen Brighton. Hey, I understand the beam. It's true. She's necessary. But jumping into, wait, can I do this here? I can. Me and Bean feel you might, yeah, it's necessary. It must occur. So what are some champions that I'm going to recommend? Sweet Lord, that was loud in my ear. I don't know if that was loud to y'all. I'm going to turn it down a little bit because that was booming. I'm going to click over here. It's going to look goofy because I'm leaning to the screen right now. Nope. I don't know what that is. Cancel. Let's click this and turn that down Like right there. Because Cyrus is loud. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. That's fair. Okay, if we're talking about just looking at my... Oh, I got to do the spoiler, don't I? I have to tell you guys how it was. How things went. How did things go? Dahlia is here. Dahlia has been secured on the account. I hustled. I grinded. I did arena matches, would also sometimes give you rare summons. I did a ton of arena matches. I did a couple gold runs. I focused on what was the content? Because I had 214 out of 250. So in 2 days, I had to come up with 36 summons. And I had like 200 gems. But I grinded. I grinded to get it, and this morning I had enough. Also, they gave you 7 in the content over the past 2 days. I think it's like 3 and 4 of the 7-day login. So that allowed me to get a chance to get her, and I officially have Dahlia on the account. Now I can't mosaic blur it here because it's a live stream. We can't hear it. So DW, what's that? We can't hear it. We can't hear it. What we can't hear? Oh crap! Let me know, Slate. What am I missing? Did I screw up? Let me know. Yeah, grinded, scrounged. I had to do it. In 2 days, I had to come up with 36 summons and got it done. This is why I like this game, because in that video, I scrounged to everything I had. I love the ability to be able to do that. No, I did not scrounge with my wallet. I did not. I'll even show you. I did not scrounge with my wallet. So looking in here, 249. I've had that for the past couple weeks. I've not scrounged. I have not bought any W Gold, any direct payment, any direct purchases. All the event stuff is still there. So I was considering it though. Let's be real. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was really thinking about it. But yeah, she's on the account, so I'm happy to have her. Also, for those of you that have not seen the other video, the other champion that I did get that I'm ecstatic about is the second half of the Golden Girls, Constance. It's on the account. I'm already starting to build her out. Got her already in Envy because we're not gonna wait anymore. But I need to get the promotion going on so I can level her up, because I told y'all I don't have a lot of these. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't have a lot of these. But actually, while we're talking here, I'm going to go ahead and get some more of these mages ones, because since I have her, oh, no, 246. Never mind, we're fine. We're good on those. We're good on those. Melee attack, how are we looking on those? 56. Okay, so I'm going to run 10 of these in the background. And there. Maybe I got some legendary ones while we're chatting, right? Let's make it work. But yeah, she's here. Dahlia's here. We're cooking. We're cooking. Don't show Slate. She's going to be jelly. Oh, you said game noise was loud. Yeah, it was loud to wait, you can't hear. Can you hear Constance when I tap her? I think you can. You know what? You probably can. But it was loud to me because I hear it at 100%. So I had to turn it down. Even if the stream doesn't hear it loud, the game, I hear it at 100%. So Cyrus has a very bass, enthusiastic voice, so it's very noticeable. But yeah, I can't wait to put her to work. Don't show Slate. Yeah, well, here's what's crazy. Slate was rooting for me to get Constance, because I think we were chatting about Guild Boss, which, by the way, this is why I'm glad Micah's coming in, because Micah, I think, is going to help me get to 50K. So that's why I'm at like 47.5 as a playtest run, but I haven't got that 50K yet. But I think Micah's going to help me go over the edge because I don't have a Hex. And so being able to get a Hex equivalent added to the team is going to help me out, help me get that 50K. Nope, I can't hear anything. Oh, that sucks. I wish you guys could hear the game, because it is very loud to me. Oh, you know what? I can't turn that up for you guys. Let's see. Oh, right there. That's as loud as I want to turn it. But we're talking about summons for Honora, right? So, summons a Sealstone. She may actually get the extra damage buff with Honora being on the team. That might be pretty cool. So, as far as we know, it might actually make an impact. Might be very useful in the content as we play. But yeah, looking forward to using her. Um, I do have Magda. This is the only way I have Magda. I did not pull Magda yet. I'm looking forward to get it one time soon. Uridan sounds really scary. Why do you say that, Laurel? I mean, honestly, in this content, I think he may be a good idea too, but he's not getting that white mechanic that he gets because it's a boss. But he probably can do some nuts damage too. HE, I'm so pumped for you to get it. I appreciate that. I got 144 of those Lego Essence for you. You need some? I need them. I need them. I had a question that was asked for. Yeah, I'm close, Slate. I'm almost there. Even though it does say summon, it doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so it's just okay. Type. That's good. Appreciate that, Jay. So that's good for us to know in advance. The summons, by the looks of it right now, they don't get the benefit from labor. Cool. Fair enough. I'm gonna have to test it on Praetus too, though, because Praetus got those little twinkly little stars he sends out also. But I'm probably gonna err on the side that they don't have a benefit there. Let's see. I don't know how many of y'all caught the audio that came along when I showed the 4 champions I got, and the Absent was one of them. It was a trash compactor in the background when I started listing them and talking about them, and then junk every time that I listed the ones I got. Absent, Aurum, and Allura all had junk sounds, but Vierna got the Legend of Zelda when you get new gear. Uridan hero intros. Oh yes, his intro does sound creepy. Yeah, it's cringeworthy almost. But let's talk about champs. I mentioned before, the mechanics of Cyrus are going to be great here because you get your ults back fast, which means you're going to get more damage. But the skeleton warriors that he puts out counts as allies, which means it combos well with his lore skills. Yeah, you may not have Cyrus, but hear me out. You might get him. And oh, there's a good question that came to mind. I didn't check this before. Also, I don't even know if it's going to be visible here. What if there's an option of friend assist in this boss, where you can get one of your friends to help you? That would be viable in this content. I would say that seems viable in this content. Yeah, you can't get your auto run out of it, but I'm going to actually check and see right now. If I could see a friend assist, we're going to have a... I don't think so, but I'm going to check while I farm my asparagus. Let's see. Raids, Titanic Ruins. Let's just do a straight fight to start. Nope, I don't see an option for friends. That's fair. That's cool. So we don't have that option available. That's okay, but that would be awesome. I do hope they add that. Devs, if you're watching this content, I think that's going to be pretty cool to include in this content. That would be dope. Let's talk about champions. Cyrus, he is, to me, he is my favorite lord in the game. Is he the best lord? No, but he's my favorite because he is the most versatile lord that I own. You can build him for straight damage, he's going to do crazy damage. You can build him for high rage regen to keep minions out, he can do it great. You can build him for straight tankiness, he's one of the tankiest champions in the game. Like, he's just a great champion overall, and he makes all of his allies 20% less cost on their ults. Vonoma gives a rage boost to everybody on the field, but he makes some champions you put down start with their ult. And then they always have the ult much faster after that. And Esoteric has a lot of mages in there, so it's really nice. I think Cyrus is going to be good paired with other champions. Cyrus and Silas are always hard to say together. They don't want us to have friends. That's it. Yeah, Allura, no friends, no problem for you. I know you have a good account. Silas is going to be good throughout the whole playing field, especially against the flamethrower, the purple head, and purple arm. I said head, Jesus. Hydra's got me spoiled. Not from spoiled, Hydra's got me ruined. Silas's damage is just going to be great everywhere. Everywhere. If you got Silas, he's going to be wonderful. That's a no-brainer. Maybe he does not get enough opportunities to get his stun, because a 20% chance is not very often, and you know we don't get him attacking that fast anyway. You can build his attack speed for other stuff, but the odds of that is too small. He can help with damage, but I don't believe Aegis Shield counts as a shield. It doesn't count as a shield mechanic, it counts as just another mechanic of the boss. So I don't know if Setram's going to get a benefit in that. Yeah, I will say if you don't have Osiris, if you do get him, you're going to be overjoyed. Zilla 2 is going to be great because of all the damage that she does, and plus she's only hitting one target the whole time. And the gaps of damage are big enough for both Frigid Flame and her recharge ability that's in her kit to work well. That being said, you're probably still going to end up using Wailing Skull because it's essentially bugged and you get multiple attacks out of it, which makes it better for Zilla 2. Let's talk into Ajax. Burning, which is going to be great, but also the magic resistance ability that he has right here. Magic resistance reduction. I can't edit that out. That's crap. That's a 30%, which is going to help for champions like your Micah. So stuff like that is going to be useful. I'm kind of just going to the ones I know is going to be great. Volka's still going to be an MVP because everybody gets heals. Heals work so well with Astral Obelisk. So any defenders that try to get the ult back quick, she's going to be a great combination with them with Astral Obelisk. You don't need Bastion Ring for this. You're only blocking one enemy. You just need your champions to stay alive. You don't need shields on your tank. You don't need unyielding on your tanks. They're bonuses, they're pluses, but the actual kits are more important than just having the tankiness to live. Because I can honestly just put a Vortex out there and he'll take care of the shield issue. An attack's coming, drop a shield. We're saved. We're good. So that's why I like this content, because you can use all of these champions that were kind of like, I don't want to say kneecap, but we tried to base them based on the content in the game, and it wasn't that versatile, so there's limits. Venoma makes it so that people get their ult faster even after they use it for the first time. No. Venoma does it initially. Her initial one gives you a rage boost on anybody that comes on the map. Cyrus cuts down the cost of all esoterics by 25%. So he makes it to where they come in, if they already have a certain amount of rage, like say they have 600 rage and their ult costs 800. It means they're going to come in at 75%. If Cyrus is there, they have 600 rage, the ability costs 800, 25% off of that is 600. They come in with the ult ready. So you drop them and tap it. It's the same as having, if you saw Leia before, and she's able to tap a button, like she has max tumultuous horn, you can put it down and just tap her ult instantly. It's the same way with Cyrus and a lot of esoteric champions, even to the point where, you know their costs are fairly high in esoteric ultimates. But he makes it where all of them are a beast. She does 25% skill cost and 30% more rage regen on deployment. Yes. Wait. She just wait, I'm brain farting. Okay, Brighton, correct me, bro. If I'm wrong, I'm missing it. But I like Cyrus better. So there we have it. They both reduce the cost. Okay, cool. But she also gives rage boost to every. That's right. Okay, so you're right. They both reduce the cost, but she gives rage boost to everybody. But what he does is more faction specific. If an ally dies or retreats, which would be Laurel or one of his minions, they die, everybody gets a 25% boost of damage for, how long does that work? For 8 seconds, and it can be triggered every 12 seconds, which is pretty consistent. That's 2/3, that's what is that? 80% of the uptime? No, geez, I had a brain fart. 66% of that uptime. I'm brain farting, y'all. But very often, you're going to get that damage boost, and then you're going to get to your ults faster, and then you can do your AoE hits a lot more often. So it's really, really useful. He has really good synergy. It's funny, his team is called Esoteric Synergy. He's my favorite lord in the game. I said that already. Now, other champions that have potential. Ezra's going to be good because you can get heals everywhere. That's kind of the limit of the conversation for Ezra. Doesn't make him bad, though. Demi, if you have her Lord skill is going to be less relevant in this content. Her damage also is not going to be as great because she's better against mobs. So I would not recommend her if you have a Morrigan, but of course we're talking about like top tier accounts, crazy pull type of stuff. So I'm not expecting most people to have her. Cerberus, I probably would not use Cerberus just because his damage is limited and he's just more of a liability. And I don't see many instances where you can control him dying at the right time. Valeria is going to be great. Valeria's going to be great because of all the freaking damage she does. And if I'm not mistaken, she has a stun in her kit, right? Let me make sure. Vulnerability, physical damage is right there. Why do I think she has a stun in her kit? I may be wrong about that. Nope, I must be wrong about that. I may be missing it. I'm looking. Smashes. No, I thought she had a stun. I must be thinking about the not greed, wrath. I may be thinking about wrath, but I thought she had stun in her kit. But she's just gonna do great damage, and it's great because even if she's gonna die, she's gonna get that really strong nuke. So you think of her as like a grenade champion that goes in there, do really crazy damage, and you pull her back. You know, she dies, and then you bring her back in later. Her damage is just going to be great. Absolutely, Cyrus is better. Couldn't agree more. Man, my Demi has really disappointed me. Demi is a great champion. Let me be clear. Demi is a better champion than Morgan, but Morgan is a better lord than Demi in most cases. That should probably clear it up better. Demi as an actual hero is amazing, but when it comes to lord bonuses, Demi's ability is more niche than Morgan is just a flat bonus. You have Demi is this type of content, she's the best. She's the John Wick of the content she's good in. Boreas, he has his frost in his kit, so of course that's going to be a benefit. Also his regular attack, if I'm not mistaken, yes, a 10% chance to inflict freeze. And if you're magical like some other people, it turns into a 40% during the ultimate. Yeah, 40% during the ultimate. So if you're that magical, you can get that. But A1 isn't that hard to come by. Purification damage, not much to worry about. And the duration lasts 10 seconds longer. But yeah, if you get him A1, of course, you're gonna have a really good time with Boreas. If you want damage, Comet can do it. I'm not recommending it. Captain Rib, you saw I just skip cracks. Wait, doesn't he apply? And also look, I got his ability. Why don't I think he has stun too? He doesn't have stun, he just has misfire, right? AoE, it must be an awakening. I'm checking. Yes, when a projectile deals damage, inflicts stun on the target. Wait a second. Yeah, that's the ult. And the ult is fairly low cost, right? So interesting. If that's a short stun, it could be great. It's a short stun. Interesting. Why do I keep saying interesting? Because his ult does 3 hits, and that's 3 stuns that are quickly put out. That could be useful. And you can definitely get him in range of the boss to do damage. And what else is there? Since I have his artifact, we're talking really niche stuff here. But he has a 50% chance of shooting 3 more. So he could become a 6-hitter with stuns. I wonder. Because I remember when, Jay, you could let me know if I'm wrong. No. The reason why I say, okay, so he mentioned that Morgan is better than Arena than Demi. Demi is great at working against masses. And as far as damage, she does way more damage than Morgan. Like, it's not even in a debate. And as far as taking care of actual crowds, she's insane. But her range makes it difficult for her to be in typical mage content. So I will say that. But if you do have an area where you use her, she's going to be great. I was hoping that there were center platforms on the boss right now for Dahlia. Jesus, I killed that sentence. I was gonna say I was hoping there's center platform because I put her right in the middle and she would wreck shop there, but there weren't. Crash has another one of those weird ranges that hasn't made sense yet. Yeah, but thankfully against bosses like that, you could just put him out there and he's gonna reach the boss and do his damage. But right now, since I have this, I have the potential of getting 6 hits with each ultimate. Interesting. Very interesting. Very appealing. Captain Rev, his ultimate is really all you need to care about. He inflicts stun every time he does an attack during his ultimate. And it lasts for 25 seconds. So it is good at slowing it down. It will not reverse the arm much. Stuns do way less than freezes do as far as I've experienced. Crash, yeah, so you did mention that before. I can't imagine my coaches except Rev for this boss. Yeah. So let me actually do this. Let me actually check more cultists then. Let's make sure. I'm glad you said that. Good point. Yeah, you're about right. Yeah, you're about right. Even Dahlia, she doesn't inflict stuns. She inflicts poison, but she's going to be more of your damage dealing champion in this content than anything. Or just add an extra debuffs in it is going to be good. So yeah, you have a very good point. I agree on that. Scroll more down the list. This is actually just my account of champions that I have. Abomination. It's a free champion. It's a free fusible champion. Mike got. I do not have Wagwan Delilah on my head. But yeah, Azor and Cratch have the potential. Cratch is definitely gonna be more niche because his exclusive is gonna have to play a part. And I think he has to be A1. Am I wrong about that? I think he has to be A1 for it to get stuns. Yeah. A1's fairly easy to get. But that would be very hilarious that Cratch will become king. But Abomination is a free champion. You can fuse him for free. And his abilities, what he's doing is ult right here. Is this the way he does it? I'm reading it. Triggers automatic for 25 seconds. Max HP, boom, boom. Burn for 2 seconds. Become permanent. Yada, yada, yada. Where's the stun? There it is. Awaken 1. The charge attack triggered on basic attack will afflict the target with stun. Stun lasts for half a second. That's cool. The charge attack is like a temporary attack. It's just works in the first phase of them. But I thought it's another time that he does it, right? Is that another time he does it? I know he gets stuns more often than that. But he's a free champion, so he's going to be a decent option if you wanted to get it and you just don't have chances to have heavy stun. Let's see here. I don't think Kaneza has stun. Let me make sure. I don't believe so. Wait, I think her ult does, but it has to be awakened. I think as you get her awakenings up, her stun comes up in her kit. So awaken 1, she gets auto heals. I'm gonna say it like it is. Kaneza is not a great champion just because she can't do a lot of damage, but she's a well-made champion. So I will be interested to find out what content she's gonna be great in down the road. This awaken 1 allows her to heal for 9% per second, which is great. But that being said, she just doesn't dish out the damage that you need in the fighter. She has stun somewhere in here. I think is it Awaken 3? Yeah. Surgeon Roar does 100% increased damage on the final strike and inflicts stun. So she does get that back fairly quickly because every time that she goes over, that's another part. That's different. Every time that she goes over the amount, and I didn't know this before. She gains rage every time she has 3 stacks already. Is this it? Let's see. 25% trigger and dodge. Also has 20% gain a key stack. But maybe it's somewhere in the mechanics where she gets additional rage if she already has 3 of those and she hasn't done her ult yet. So she can get back to her ults even faster. But I'm not considering her for this content because it's too far in between for stuns. Brokir has to be hit for frost, so that's not going to count. Shamir has immobilize. He doesn't have freeze, right? He just has immobilize. Drowning water, yeah. Don't use Shamir. Aracha for the Lord bonus, yeah. Regulars for the ult. I'm going to be able to stay alive. You and I would have to talk about Kaneza. Okay, we got to, because I'm going to say, Sebastian, when I first got on the test server, one of the first things I did was see how much I can God tier Kaneza, just like how far I can push her, and I didn't like the results. Still came a good champion, but there's already champions that could do better than her at A5 for what I used her for, like to just practice her. Now, I will say, you build her fast, she becomes very hard to kill. She becomes very hard to kill, but Sebastian, I'm very interested to see what you got to say about her because she can dodge a lot and she auto heals. So you see why she can become like a pest to kill. She becomes actually pretty interesting. But you got to still build up a tank. Still build up a damage, which makes her a glass cannon. So, So I'm gonna look at it. Let me see right now. I may have stripped the gear off her, but let me see. Let's actually check. I have her built on here. Let's see if she still has all her gear. Right now, she is at 625. So I actually do have her for the most part still built. She's at, you guys can't see that, right? Screen this back right here. Is it? There we go. Okay. She can be faster. To be fair, she can be faster. But this is, in a sense, what I would consider to be kind of like a god tier type Kaneza. Like, that's when you're starting to get into real crazy territory, what stuff you can do. I would probably give her more attack damage, of course, because 5A1 should be played with, and a little bit more crit. But I was focusing mostly on speed because I wanted to have as much dodge as she could to become really hard to kill. But the normal group of nerds here I see. Yeah, Sassy, what's up? What's going on? Oh, Story's in here. Super hyped for the new boss to come. Yeah, the boss is fire. So I'm going over the new champions, or not new champions, I'm going over the different champions that are in the game that I think are going to be good options against the boss. And I'm using my kit, my collection to kind of go through them. Don't use Shamir. Lasir, you don't need Lasir. Orum, you don't need Orum. Pharisee is going to be an MVP for this boss. For one reason in particular, his kit's pretty good. He has some really good heals. He also has Envig in his kit. So if you just have Dolores and you don't have options after that, you don't have a constants, congratulations. You have Pharisee, he can do it as well. And he was on the banners, there's a good chance you may have him. Also, Dasomi has Envig in his kit as well. Inspiration in his kit, I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say for both. So they can give a damage boost across the team. He has the range of a Vortex, just huge. He can heal, you can't cover all allies at once. But the one thing I want you guys to know about is this ability right here on the end, which I thankfully maxed out. He applies AoE damage reductions to allies in range. Anytime they get hit with the AoE attack, which is most of the boss's attacks, they receive a, come on, tap it, I think it's 25%. Yeah, 25% damage reduction to anything the boss is doing to your team. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. Keeps you guys in the battle for quite a while. So I love that option for Pharisee. I'm so glad I got that at A5. Also, it's really good against Healer Codex because every hit you take in Healer Codex is AoE. So he kind of drops the ceiling down of how much damage you're allowed to take in that fight too, which is really nice. But Pharisee's going to be great for that, mainly that reason. And also his ultimate also gives inspiration. It's a little bit less, but it is, where's the amount? Where's the amount? I'll just tap right out of it. He applies like 15. If you level it up, it could become 20, and you could drop the cost to 800, and he still does awesome strong heals while he's doing it. So he's going to be good. Let me see right here. Time to go, Sassy. Here, all the chat's picking up. Stormy, glad to have you, my guy. Glad to have you. Sassy's emotions. Sassy Emotions are a normal group of nerds is here. I see. Old Time to Go, Sassy's here. Sassy Emotion, No Life Brothers. Tag. That's crazy. GDI don't have Pharisee. Yeah, he's good though. You don't think of using Pharisee first for most content because you rather get the Rage of Hollow, you rather get the inspiration of Dolores, so you don't think of the options of like a Pharisee first, but it's a solid built champion. It's a pretty good healer. He's not a bad healer at all. It's a wonderful healer, but there's other champions that do great jobs at what you're trying to usually get out of your healers. Allah, Ahem, Go Out Pro, yeah, they all having fun in here. And one Har's cursed sister. That's gold. King Har's. We may have recently seen her. We may have recently seen him in the content. His ability right here, his regular ult inflicts freeze and gives him a giant shield. So if you need to get freeze to hit the enemy, you can use that. It's a long behind freeze too, but I don't think duration matters. I don't know if duration matters. His freeze is like 4 seconds, right? 5 seconds, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, he can get it to 6. I could be wrong, but look right here, the talent. When King Harz is shielded, his attacks has a 20% chance to inflict the enemy with freeze. You can build King Harz for attack speed and benefit with that. Also, his physical attack gives rage regen as he does attack, so he can get his ult back even quicker. So he is built to be able to do that option. Other than that, he is a super tank against physical damage. Magic, not as much. He just has dense shields that are great, but look at that. When he gets a shield, he increases the strength by 60%. If he generated his own shields consistently, he'd be great for other content. But unfortunately, without shields, if we are not the shield, King Harz can die. It's not that good. Krodor has a passive ult that allows him to do a ton of stuns. 10 hits, but you got to count on taking a lot of damage for that to work. So you got to, you can combo that with somebody like a Durza or something, because you can manually drop the blood and still drop the health and trigger it, which is not a bad idea. But I will probably steer away from him. I got my boy right here. He's been added to the account. Why do I think he does stuns? I'm not familiar if he does stuns. Why do I think he does stuns? I don't believe he does stuns. Let me know if I'm wrong. I mean, he has electric in his kit, but I think he has counterattack. That's going to be really good, but not useful in here. Disomi, go ahead and say it so y'all know it. My wife is here too. Yo, Jay and Gio here. The 2 team is here. I'm feeling blessed. Glad to have y'all both. Disomi, one of the most slept on champions in the game. Also one of the hardest champions to get. So to be fair, there's a caveat for that too. The best debuff remover in the game, and I'm not going to argue about it. Argue with your mama. Share the video with your mama, then argue with your mama. He's the best debuff remover in the game. Why? For one, there's people that have content about this champion and don't even list him as a debuff remover because they didn't read the kit. So I'm not going to say who that is. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be nice today. But his regular attack. Let's look at the basic here. Basic attack, 30% chance to grant potent magic instance instead. We'll talk about that. From the 6 instance granted, which is just him doing his attack, magic instance or potent magic instance will apply 20% inspiration to allies as damage, just because. Let's talk about the abilities. Grants magic instance upon one ally in range. What does that do, Mortar Mike? Tell me what it does. I shall. It lasts for 6 seconds. The attack lasts for 6 seconds. If their HP is higher than 50%, it dispels a buff every 2 seconds. If the HP is below 50%, it dispels a buff every 2 seconds and also heals them up to 50% health. So let me make sure I'm reading that properly. Otherwise, it stores the HP based on the max HP and the Casper's. Yeah. So it is a both thing. As far as when I've been using it, it works for both. So he doesn't have to get them to 50%, then get rid of debuff, because that doesn't make any sense. But the limit to him is that he only can heal to 50%. So he's not going to be essentially a healer. He's much more of a supporter champion that's labeled as a healer. Why is Magic Instance great? Because, did you just read that? He gets rid of debuffs every 2 seconds. Oh, but it's only one attack. That's not that great. Let's check out the ult. He can heal 2 more, so he can throw 3 out at a time. Look at the video, he's healing 3 at a time. So debuffs don't stand a chance. And increases their defense by 20%. And it lasts for 12 seconds. And if you're like, you know what? That inspiration isn't that great. It's 20%. It's not that powerful. I could get you on that. But then this ability right here is a part of his kit. After entering the field, increases his attack by 10% every 20 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. He gets a 30% attack increase, which is just going to feed into inspiration. So that 20% doesn't sound like a lot, but he gets so much, it becomes a lot, which is awesome. And then potent magic instance, we saw that before. That's every second gets rid of a debuff. And this is 6 seconds that it's on them. Originally, it used to be where you can have it for 12 seconds. That's just broken. But the content didn't exist yet, so it wasn't a great option. Eunomia, good also. Eunomia has a time frame of when she does it, and I don't believe you can control it. I think it's every 40 seconds, and you can't control it. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Not knowing if it's available when you need it, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but she's still going to be a great debuffer, so not knocking that. Elowen is going to be a great debuffer, but Elowen's range is going to make it a little harder to get a bunch of people in it at the same time. A debuff remover. Madan is going to be the same case. She's actually a really good debuff remover, but her range is going to make that harder to work. If I'm not mistaken, Elowen gets an increased range during her ult, right? Let's go check her out. I think she does get an increased range, so I think she becomes like a vortex, right? I could be wrong. Let me make sure. Like a Cetrum. She gets like a Cetrum range when she does it. Where is the gallery? Here we go. Storage, gallery. Let's go to Elowen on the bottom. Right there. Let's see the ult. Yeah, dispels all buff for all allies in range, and she gets the range of like Cetrum, so it's actually really big. And heals them for, boom. So yeah, she's gonna be a great option as well. But yeah, as far as debuff remover, it's gonna be Disomi. I got Disomi early in the game, so I got a sweet spot, like a sweet spot for this champion. You don't need anti-heal, so not worried about that. Faustia is gonna be questionable. And that was when he needed crit rates to heal. Yeah, to get the extra heal out of his ability. That's right. I didn't know he also did inspiration. He was the first Lego I got on Ancients. That's dope. That's dope. She's great. She's not as great as Elowen, first here. Disomi. Yeah. Eunomia is going to be great, though, because all the attack speed increase she gives. It's just going to make your team work better. So she is a good option. I'm never going to say she's bad. She's great. But these champs kits are diverse. You got to be thinking of that, right? Right. As the buffer, have you seen Jasomi's exclusive artifact? The exclusive artifact is broken. It's not cracked, it's broken. I'll show it for this song just so you guys that aren't familiar with it want to see it. Go into forwards, go down to exclusive forwards, click the magnifying glass. It is on the 5th row, right? Nope, it's lower, right there. When the basic attack grants magic instants, there's a 50% chance to grant the target a shield equal to 10% of their max HP, lasting for 6 seconds. The ultimate throws out 3 basic attacks at once. Do I have it? I don't think I have it leveled up on here. I could level it up and see what it maxes out into, because I do have Jasomi on the test server. I can read that. I can make that for you guys while we're chatting. There's Jasomi. Artifact. He has it. So it scales up more of the shield strength. So 50% chance to grant the target a shield equal to 15% of the target's max HP lasting for 6 seconds. Now I do wish that it could make it to like 10 seconds or something, but I'll be honest, that's broken. Or increase the odds of doing it. But he attacks so often and gives so many of these buffs out, he's just going to be having a whole bunch of shields and inspiration and defense increase on allies all around you. So you see why I call him a support champion more than a healer. His kit's definitely more supporting than doing heals. So I had to discuss. Let's see here. JG, I'm legit jealous of your A2 Jasomi slate. That's dope. Pretty much required for AoE Arena. That's fire. That's fire. Fear said I have her on offer account, need her on other account. Dope. Scrolling down more, enter the convo, because I gotta just see who's doing what. King Heart's gonna be great. Trust, yep, Jasomi. Faust is questionable. The man of the hour who I used for so long, and then he just started losing gear. I think I trusted him so much, I gave him some skill crystals, am I right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I didn't. Okay, no, I don't think I did. Thank God. Yeah, I didn't. I got 7. I got a couple of them. This boy right here. At the talent at the very beginning, when it's in a heated state, which is just a couple of hits, it goes in a heated state. Every attack has a 30% chance of inflicting stun. Just him hitting stuns out the wazoo, which is great. Does his ultimate, does damage to stuff in front of him, which is cool. But you know, the heated strike ends. But when this occurs, Tempering Strikes triggers another ability called, I think it's Fortifying Sparks. So right here. When Tempering Strikes is active, every strike will apply a buff to one random ally within 3 tiles. 3 tiles is about the range that Boreas has of his EMP attack right now. He's like 3.5. So he can reach a ton of allies in range. It's really nice. Based on the current state of the hammer, normal state, which you probably never have because he always gets in a heated state, it applies a shield equal to 110% of his defense for 10 seconds. This is just randomly applied to allies nearby, and if he keeps attacking, they just keep getting it, which is nice. Heated state applies the shields and applies a damage increase of 15%, scales up to 20%. The shield can become 120% as well, but a 20% damage increase for 10 seconds that's just given to allies while he's doing his ultimate. Here's what's crazy about that. In A1, his ability just does Fortifying Sparks immediately. It just gives it. So when attacking, there's a 10% chance to just start giving it to people while you're playing. Just while he's out there, he's just giving it randomly to people. So it's just these little bumps in damage that you're going to be getting. Extra shields, 20% damage increase. Call it what you want. That's a nice addition to have. Slater's ready to use Azor. Quick cheat code. Morale set on first here and Jasomi is an absolute OP for SEMRAH. Ooh. Morale gets the bonus percentage, right? 4% that's flat. I agree. I could agree on that. I could agree on that. Yes, that's good. Because you're probably going to have enough people that's going to be in Invig already. Next up. Yeah, Azor is going to be interesting. Mainly because he's attainable. He's achievable. I mean, not achievable. He's obtainable for a lot of players. That makes it a lot easier to say, hey, try Azor. You got him? Yeah, I hate him. Try him. He's got a bunch of stuns in his kit. If he gets increased attack speed, he's going to be nice. If he gets, if you build him for increased attack speed, it's gonna be good. But boosting attack speed on him is gonna be great also. So like for example, like we said before, it's gonna help him out because it just allows him to do what he does well. Is he gonna be OP? I think the still gonna be champions are gonna be better for the job of stunning the boss arm or freezing the boss arm. Is gonna be better options. Nyx, I wouldn't recommend. Just you're not doing AoE damage. Durza, it's gonna be interesting because Durza has his regular attack that also increases his attack speed. That's not crazy, but he inflicts vulnerability magic damage of 20% and vulnerability physical damage of 20% when he does the ultimate Sanguine Rite. And there's any ally in range that takes damage, he turns them into an EMP. So I wish they could show that. I think the ult can show it too. I think it has Salazar in it. Yeah, so look at Salazar. You see him like he starts pulsing, and then he has like a red ring around him. Those red rings are the Sanguine Rite, which is basically an EMP of, I think it's 120% damage. So if it's just a bunch of fighters in the front of the fight and Sanguine Rite goes off, they're just gonna start doing EMP damage to the boss. That's gonna be a little riskier though, so they might die. Need Carnelian in there, but but he also does this too. This is stuff you just need to know about champions if you hear they're trash and you don't know why they're trash. His ability can be slightly work, just never works out of chaos. I disagree. I use him in Guild Boss, and he helped well with my damage. And I would say why do I say work well with my damage? Time is ultimate. I time his ultimate after everybody's used their ultimate, and I use him last because he has a short window for his ultimate. It's only 10 seconds. But right here, he gives a 50% damage increase. 50% damage increase on allies that are in his range. So he is one of the mages that you aim at your other allies, which we thought in it initially was going to be. 50%. Take it how you want it. That's freaking awesome. But to be fair, he is better with chaos, so I can't deny that. That's the truth. But he's got some practicality. Allura, we're skipping. Seraphina, she is actually really good. Am I saying that right? I am good. She's a great burst damage dealer. There are instances where she can outdamage solids in arena in burst instances, not in long term. So let's be clear, not in long term. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Jay, you're still in here. You actually tested her in arena, and you came to the conclusion she has some really good damage for arena, which is really nice. So yeah, I hope that y'all, if y'all did get her, you ended up getting her. She is useful. Yep, the physics are there. We're live streamers, so I don't have to edit this stuff. So mosaic doesn't matter. But she does a lot of burst damage. That's the basic thing you really need to know. When she does her ult, she replaces her regular attack with just burst damage hits. It's useful. It's good. It's actually pretty high damage. Alistair is made for this boss because of just... Alistair is made for this boss because right there in his talent, each attack increases attack speed by 30, stacking up to 5 times. That's 150 attack speed increase. I think you want to get him to, correct me if I'm wrong, you want to get him to like a build him with 300 or 400 attack speed, and that guarantees that, or is it 400 or 5? Between 300 and 500, so that's a big range, right? Somebody in the chat may know it, which is good. But it allows him to reach max stacks. So when he reaches max stacks, each basic attack deals 80% of his attack as true damage. This is going to be great against the Aegis Shield. Where true damage really can't be ignored. It's just straight damage being done directly to the boss, no matter what buffs it has. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be good. He was free. You ended up getting him. They made sure you got him before this content came out because that's where he's going to be very useful. Also, his ultimate is good against Boreas Codex, but you have to be mindful of when you use it. So he gives Radiant Erosion. He throws 3 stacks out on up to 10 enemies, but that's not relevant. I'm actually trying to tap it. Continuous damage based on defense of the inflicted target every 2 seconds, stacking up 3 times. But he throws this out on his ultimate. So if you throw it out, that means he gives it to the core, the frost core, and it stays on the frost core and does damage there. When the frost core disappears, it doesn't go to Boreas. So if you're trying to get rid of the Frost Core, you can use it. Or if you want to get more damage on Boreas, save it until the Frost Core is broken, then throw the ultimate, and you get more of that true damage on him. So just something so you guys know that, because they are separate enemies, and you may not be knowing that. You may think, oh, I got it procced, I got it triggered, but it's not on Boreas. So something mindful to be thinking of. But true damage is going to be useful. Colleen is going to be a solid option here. But in this case, I'm only going to be talking about Legos. Because the Epics is a whole different story, because there's so many freaking options. Calypso, we already verified that the summons don't count as a benefit for Arnora. So I'm not considering her being a crazy option. It's reliable damage, sure. But I'm not the biggest fan. Absent with skipping. Zealous for skipping. Constance is going to be lovely. Just because of the freaking 45% inspiration, right? Am I right about that? Please tell me I'm right about that. Yeah, inspiration. It is... Yeah, 45, and the cost goes down to 900. She's going to be wonderful because she's also going to be tanking, so she can take that single hit as well. But that inspiration is just going to be lovely. And then if you get the exclusive she just got, now she can heal during her ultimate, which is lovely because she also is essentially a decent healer. And so if you pop her ultimate, now she keeps healing. She usually stops during the heals during the ultimate. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I always say, only question here, where to find freaking seal crystals for all these heroes. So that's gonna be always a black. That's gonna always be a black eye of oh wow, I got Terry. That's always gonna be a black eye of gacha games. Of the restriction of resources, it's just gonna exist. Like, we can't dodge that bullet. It's just going to exist. That being said, this game is a lot more giving of resources. We had that argument last night, Alaro, and I think somebody jumped in the chat, was like, I'm getting 30 shards Seekers a day in raid. Like, you're not. Unless you're buying them, you're not. But they're very forgiving in what you can get. You're very forgiving and giving. Like right now, I'm not necessarily collecting. This is about a week, and I got 7s. Most of them from Guild Boss, to be fair. But I got 7 of them. That's great. They might go right into Dahlia. But I'm thinking they might go into Constance, because I want that ultimate to be at the ready. I want to be at the ready. But yeah, that's just going to be a limitation because that's the way they can make income. Not knocking it. It's not even to be ashamed of. At this point, you know what game you downloaded. So that's the way to do it. But yeah, just focus on what champions you need to get, what kit, what gear. Like for right now with Pharisee, for example, I'm probably not going to put any more books into Pharisee ever unless I just get like a surge for some random reason. Because all I wanted was this 25% AoE damage reduction. After I got that, that's the main thing I want out of this kit. Other stuff is cool, sure. You get the burst heals, you get like, you know, AoE damage. They get like a burst heal if they take AoE damage, but it lasts for a period of time. I don't need that. The ultimate's great. I don't need to use it that often. All I need is a damage reduction. So, oh gosh, that wind sound ended. I was hearing a wind noise the entire time I was in there. It was freaking annoying. 7 Laurel. 7 skill crystals unsub. Yeah, that's the first time I had 7 in a while. I can get to 5, but I like to hold on in case I know I'm going to be summoning soon and pulling new Legos, and I'm like, oh, okay, let me save a couple of them and have them on standby. You know what? Should I go full degenerate just while we're here? Just while we're here, just because it's possible. I've burned everything. I'm just gonna do it. I'm having a good day. I'm just gonna burn it. Just bad idea. We're in the chat. Yeah, I really got lucky with him. There goes farts. And an epic. Yo, what if the third one's a Lego? The first one's a regular, and the second one's an epic, and the third one be a Lego. I need Torador. Put that out there quick. Good to have her. I need to 0. Last one. Rare. But I would have been flipping out of my freaking. Out of my. I have on socks. I would have been flipping out of my socks if I ended up getting a Lego from that. Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna hang out there forever. For all eternity. I don't need a Maga Cube and die, whatever she's saying. I don't freaking remember. What else is there that we wanted to discuss? First, we collect these because we're here. Oh, increase. Yeah, this was copied in the raid because this game is so good that raid said we have to take note. And I'm just gonna buy myself from the shop because at this point it's basically a ritual. It's as effective as a normal prayer. And also in here, in Arena Shop, you can buy the skin for Wrath. You'll be able to buy it within the next couple of days directly in here, which is awesome. A couple are going to be available. You can also buy, if I'm not mistaken, not by money, but in the shops. You can get the new mount that's going to be coming, which is the one I'm going to instantly use as soon as I get them. Where are we at? This is content for the game, which is a scroll. I think that's anniversary event. So game news, anniversary, celebration peak. It's funny, out of all the content, I'm most excited for the mount. I'm most excited for the mount. But he gives increased flawless meteorites, like the exclusives. He gets increased ones. So if you get them, you get a chance to get even more every time, which means that we can stop getting like 5 or 6. We might get like close to 7 or 8. No wait, we get like 6 or 7. That's 6 or 7. Is the stream okay? It's saying I'm getting buffering issues. I'm not dealing with that. Tomorrow he'll say we push for him to go 0. Yes, I will. I will definitely say you guys forced me to spend those 3 gems. May their summons never be forgotten. Oh no, I'm sorry. Future Mike says may their shards never be forgotten, even though they're summons. He played a lot of raid too. Rumor has it he had a Seer on his account. That says enough. But yeah, this boss is going to be great. It's honestly going to be a great boss. I'm looking forward to playing against it. Did someone test and it was only 1-2? What's that mean? 1-2. Didn't someone test and it was only 1-2? What were you referring to, Slate? Someone test and it was only 1-2. Yeah, let me know what I'm referring to here, because if it's 30 seconds ago, I don't remember what I said. It's out there. It's going. Watch FaceTime Dad. Oh, cool. So I'm going to actually make this. I'm going to summarize this conversation in a few, because I have to call my father-in-law and wish him a happy Father's Day as well. And the kids are up, and they like to do it too. They're happy Father's Day. They're going to do that. Yeah. Didn't someone test and it was only 1 to 2? I think it is like 2. So instead of getting that 36 or so, you get closer to 40. Instead of 38, you get 40. So you have a chance to get more. Is it gleaming meteorite? It's gleaming meteorites. That's it. Yeah, but I'd rather have it. I want to get a chance at 2 more exclusives at the most, if I can do it. How many battles? This is like 29 chances to pick up loot in there. Not all of them are gleaming, but all of the battles have a chance to give it. So that's going to be a benefit for me in all of them. I'm okay with that, because now I'm building my team to not need the boost of whatever lord or whatever faction is getting the boost, to not need it, and just build like an Iron Man team that just works in whatever those areas are. I'm working on that. So I'm not really concerned if the auto attacks are, quickly removed. I don't care that much. I'd rather just go ahead and just tap the button, set it for an auto battle and just go ahead and get the win and keep it moving. That's a me thing though. That's a me thing. Yeah, I'd rather get the extra meteorite so I can get these exclusives faster. Especially because more are entering the game, and there are like 4 epic exclusive meteorites now. Which, to be honest, I understand that people say there's diluting the pool. I get it. But I also do like the fact that epics get some love. If it was just Legos, you'd be like, well, I'm just going to use plain stuff until I get a Lego instead of this epic that I have. I kind of like the idea of it. It's just inevitable. It's going to water it down. It's going to happen. But yeah, that being said, I think that I have covered. Oh, look at that. See, this is what's trash. I need 4. It's trash. Yeah, it's per battle. Oh, at the end, that'd be trash. That'd be terrible. Yeah, every battle that you battle and you get meteorites, you get more. So that's going to be lovely. Yeah, I'm going to give my father-in-law a call. Wish him a happy Father's Day. The kids are going to get involved in it. And then after that, we're going to have popsicles. Because I'm a grown beat kid. I love popsicles. Me and my kids love them. We will stand in a circle, cut them open, and just sit there quietly eating them. Or if they're not open, we're going to have popsicle sword fights, because that's what kids do, even when they're at the age that I am. That made me feel old saying that, because I took pride in saying that. I don't care. I don't care. I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. Happy Father's Day yet again. I hope that you guys have an awesome time. Get yourself something nice to eat. Even if you're not a father, even if you don't have a father, celebrate. Have some fun. Kick some butt. Enjoy something in your day. You know, make that sandwich. Make that Scooby-sized sandwich you always wanted to make. But yeah, have an awesome time. Let me know in the comments of this video what champions you're looking forward to use in Guild v Guild. I just said Guild v Guild. I'm sleepy. Y'all, I had an hour and a half of sleep. I just said Guild v Guild instead of the words Guild Boss. It's been a day. It's been a day. You probably can see it in my eyes. I'm exhausted. So I'm going to make this call, get the sugar in me, and then go to sleep at the same time. Yes, like and subscribe. Thank you, Slate. I appreciate that. I hope y'all have an amazing time. It looks like you had about 20 people in here. I'm thankful for that. And a lot of you guys hung out for quite some time. So can't thank you all enough. I hope you guys are enjoying the live stream. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about more in the future. I'll do it. This music has been bopping the whole time. You can't tell me this ain't peaceful. But yeah, y'all have a great time. I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. See y'all soon. Peace. This is the best speech so far. Alara, am I motivating people? Am I encouraging people to be good humans while gambling in gacha games? Can't help that. Y'all have a good time. Let me actually back out because I'm going to keep reading the chats and keep commenting. All right, bye. Oh crap, I'm still streaming? Oh my gosh.